Because that's important. What does it mean? It means that there are non-human forces that are deeply supportive of human emergence. That's what it means. And that's miraculous and utterly normal. We are part of the emerging story. And we know that that huge part of our emerging story has to be one of healing, healing the rifts between people, healing the rifts between families, nations, healing the rifts between us as humans and the environment we live within, the animals. So healing is kind of the big, big, big keyword of silver. So just let that even settle in your system. Silver rising right now. The bigness of it, the heart of it, the courage of it, and the way you're already housing more and more and more of that. So that as we move forward towards the end of this decade, wow, we're going to be like little silver beacons of healing, of brightness, of compassion, of courage, of commitment, that place of radiant resolve, of being that healing change in ourself. And from that place, having that ripple out into every circle, every energy field there is. So just kind of wear that a minute. Maybe close your eyes and think, feel, imagine, visualize that silver color in you, of you. The beautiful luminosity of the starlight, of the silver energy, shining out of every single one of your cells. Let's cross our arms so that both of our palms are on the arm crease. We're covering those golden hearts. Golden hearts, part of your core anatomy. Fizzing and bubbling and imbued right now with the silver that your soul is beginning to dance with and sing with. And feeling that connection between your palms and those golden hearts. Inviting that breath in, perhaps even seeing, sensing, visualizing, imagining the breath in as a silver energy. You're breathing that silver starlight into your lungs. From there, it's being carried into your cells and breathing out in exactly the same way, letting that silver light come from your nose or mouth, but also through every single pore in your body. Breathing in through your nose or mouth and every single pore. And breathing out, easy. Becoming a beautiful blend of your own rich vibrations, colors, soul song, and the silver. Letting it sing you more into being, even as you doing so sings the silver more into being. Letting your heart field bring that beautiful mixed, supported energy of all that you are and all that silver is. Out through your heart field, into your aura and into the room. And just letting it do that. No need to effort or send or force. Breathing in and breathing out. Marinating in that silver aligning your thoughts, your consciousness with it. Letting it bring healing into your system, your body system, your mind system, your soul system. Inviting that silver to meet and to enliven that potent healing energy. Allowing yourself, inviting yourself to receive the deep nourishment of this silver healing energy. Inviting trust of it. Bringing welcome. And resting there. As people who care about each other and the world, we can work so hard, effort so much. And sometimes we forget that our deepest power is resting in balance, in joy, in radiance. So that we bring about the greatest change in the vibration of our human field and the world itself, simply by resting and inviting that harmony. Being conscious of yourself as the great alchemist of your own life and all life. Breathing in and breathing out, supporting those golden hearts, supporting your heart field. Being aware of your sun star lit up with that silver light. Your earth star lit up with that silver light. Your energetic core holding you strong and safe, protected and connected. Empowered and enlivened. And getting curious if there's anywhere else that you wish to place your hands on your body. As you stay in that place of connection, of ease. And turn your attention to being together, a group of us here in the gathering ground. A computer or phone in front of you or beside you. Being aware of the noises in the room. Stroking your skin wherever your hands are on your body. And whenever you're ready, really in your own time, opening your eyes. It's big. You'll notice even just doing that practice, it's a big field that you can go into straight away, isn't it? And one of the invitations is that you stay utterly physically grounded inside that big field, because silver allows that. We just have to make sure that we're holding that aspect. So being aware of your earth star, even if it's helpful for you to move your hands as you're working with a practice like that, so that you remain really aware of the magnificence of your body imbued with silver. I love that concept of marinated in it or swimming in silver. I often have that as a very fluid, very cosmic and watery energy. So that place of kind of swimming through the constellations, swimming through the starlight, swimming through the silver. One of the things that was really apparent as I was working with the blog for this month is that I set about, okay, what's the routine that's going to be great to support people this month? And I realized, oh, they've got it. They've already got it. I don't need to create anything new for silver. We've been working with it. February is an amazing month to revisit, February of this month. And when I wrote about it, I said, this is where we start changing patterns. And if you commit to these places of stillness that the February practice invited, then by the time we get more into the year, they will become normal ways of being. Now, if you have not committed, if you have not done them, it doesn't matter. Start now. Or maybe you do other deep stillness practices, breath work. For me, I walk. And I find the rhythm in my body. I've got a lot of earth energy. I find the rhythm in my body. And as that rhythm comes in, patterns ease back into wholeness. I also meditate. I do a lot of beautiful sacred work that keeps inviting me to expand. So know what you do, or experiment with things that are calling you towards that beautiful centering. Dynamism and stillness. Those are the two places, the yin and the yang. Getting that balance right for each of us is a big, big, big invitation in this silver month, but silver in general. And of course, in our global understanding, my goodness, do we ever need that balance between the yin and the yang? And also May, I believe. May was all about heart ease and joy. And I invited you in that month, in the practice then, to really remember this place of heart ease. Remember it literally, like, oh, I remember that when I'm in heart ease, I feel gentle, I feel joyful, I feel relaxed, my shoulders drop, or whatever it is for you. So that when we come into this silver energy, which is always going to ask a lot from us, because it's utterly new, we're transforming. So there's not much familiar about silver, although we've met it 7 times now. So it's beginning to be familiar. And it feels very much this place of choice. As I was writing the blog, I'll read you the first sentence. And yeah, you got to forgive me for it. So this is what I wrote. Actually, I want to see you as I write it, as I speak it. So I said, ouch, this month may hurt, or it may be marvelous. And yes, with a smile in my heart, I realize that these opening lines may be next to a useless thing to write, and yet it remains important to understand as we travel through the vibration of this July energy. It might hurt. It might be amazing. And the difference is the consciousness that we take to the experiences we have this month. And that's where the stillness, the heart ease, the seeing yourself as that silver being, that amazing healing vibration, and bringing huge compassion, deep forgiveness to the times when you are not. Because that's really important too. It's a little bit unlikely, even by the end of the Silver Age, that we are all utterly enlightened beings. Maybe, I don't want to limit ourselves. Maybe we all will be. But there might well be days, times, words, thoughts, actions that we really mess up. And the silver invites recognition of that, notice it, and bring the balancing in. And the very, very first balancing for every one of us here is forgiveness, isn't it? Oh my goodness, I messed up. I don't want to react like that. I don't want to feel that tense or tight. I have choice, and I forgot I had choice in that moment. Okay, well, I figured it out now. And maybe when I'm in that situation next time, I'll remember quicker. So we bring the compassion and the potential forward into the places that we don't succeed to make a healing or harmonious choice. We don't even remember we had choice. How many of us have experienced that? Every one of us. We don't realize we've got a choice in that situation. Those old habits, old energies leap up and run our show. Well, silver gives us more and more and more opportunity to co-create our show, co-create it. And I think that's the place that we get to experience and explore, be curious about this month.
So, Prune, Micah brings forward a question that maybe many of us have. So she says, when Prune talks about her guides, who and what is this? And can mere mortals like me access guides as well?
Yeah, I'm a mere mortal. I'm maybe a pretty weird mere mortal, but there is nothing I do that you can't do. We're all gifted in very specific ways, aren't we? Every one of us, every one of us. And I have big gifts for tracking, for perceiving. So know what your gifts are and experience and find them, because they're your biggest healing vibrations in this world. And let me tell you for a minute what I think is the very, very biggest superpower. And that is the gift of kindness. If you are a kind person, you're changing the world in immeasurable ways. And we undervalue it so hugely in our society, because kindness is rarely able to be monetized. And in a society who somehow managed to put monetization above all other aspects of or determinants of what it is to be successful, then kindness is the biggest gift. I want to speak to that first and then come back into this place of guides. I think, I mean, who knows? I can't perceive my life without it. But being born with a twin who had just gone into the land of the dead, always being connected with her, always chatting to her, living in her world as much as she lived in my world. There's no division for me between manifest beings, beings with bodies walking around, and non-manifest beings, souls. That connection with my twin, we are always working together. You think you know me, you know us, because there can't be a me. That kind of gives me a very big antenna, doesn't it, into the world of spirit. Because we could say a twin part of me lives there. And as you also know, knowing much of my story, that can make it really hard physically at times. Really hard. Any of us, in fact, I'm not even going to say any of us can be in connection with our guides. I'm going to say every single one of us are already in connection with our guides. We just might not identify that supportive energy as a guide. I've spent 53 years crafting communication. I've trained extensively to be at that level of communication with guides. So it's also a skill as well as something natural. And it's a skill that can be taught. Many of you here, I've taught how to journey, taught how to be in connection with guides, taught how to be in a living relationship not something that like, oh, I'm going to pick up my drum and I'm going to drum for 20 minutes. I'm going to talk to a guide and then that's it. And now I move back into my regular life. But the place of being in communication, but your biggest guide is your soul. Because your soul is always in communication and connection with the entire sentient wisdom of the cosmos. So if you're listening to your soul, you are listening to every part of the guidance that you need. When we work with the practice that we just did, golden hearts, come in, find yourself. Let the silver reveal it more. Let yourself be harmonized more. Be co-creative in the harmonizing. And then we can add another word. And now listen. Listen to the wisdom that's there. Listen to the yearning that's there. Don't have that yearning for balance, peace, love be something that destroys you or makes you feel despondent. Embrace that yearning. It's part of who you are here to be and to make manifest in this world around you. So that's one part of the question. The other part is who are they? There's quite a council. My twin Ava is always, we're always working together. We're always seeing together. If I can't track something, she always can track something. So there's nothing I've ever not been able to track because we track together. Okay, so this is a story I've never told anyone. So the other big energy. So we're going back now to December 2019. I'm down in Marazion, and it's where St. Michael's Mount is. Beautiful. Have anyone ever been to St. Michael's Mount or Mont Saint-Michel in Normandy? So some of you, yes, you've got the visual of, and I'll put it up in the gathering ground. So you've got this phenomenal place where 4 really powerful ley lines come into being. One of the lines that I lived on for the first 16 years of my life that informed so much, that gave me the vibration that I have in many, many ways, and a line that I've worked to help be in its balance for the last 25 years. So very close relationship with earth and earth medicine in this land. So I'm sitting there and I'm sitting in a particular cafe and I'm like, okay, I'm going to write a blog. What needs to come in? And then when I'm in that place, then I just open all of the windows and I hear what needs to come in, same as I'm making a course or creating some content. I'm just like, what is needed? What's needed? What does the cosmos need of me? What does the human field need of me? And I listen and gradually, sometimes it comes in like a storm and I have to scribble frantically to get it all down. But that place of just like, all right, what's needed? And I was like, we need to write about, we need to share, we need to translate the energy shifts that come in monthly. We need to translate them. That was the word. We need to translate. Okay. What, why? So then I have a good old discussion, drinking my cup of tea and we're having a good old chat. Like, okay, well, all right. I can do that. How long for? I'm always aware. What am I contracting here? How long for? As long as necessary. Oh, that's a tricksy answer. That's a pretty tricksy one, but okay, they're asking it, so we'll do it. So who's going to help me with this? Who's going to help? And there is I immediately, sometimes I always hear, but sometimes it's very visual. And so I see a rooftop. And it's kind of a rooftop, I don't know, in a big, big, brash, noisy city. I'm going to say something like New York. No idea where it was, but a rooftop. And I'm coming onto this rooftop and I'm sitting there. So now it's full vision. Always interesting if someone comes up and says, would you like more tea? I'm like, oh, someone's on the human realms asking me if I need tea. So I need to come out the rooftop for a minute. So on the rooftop, and there's a young man on this rooftop and he is in full punk gear, purple hair, chains and like leather and and he's young and he's kind of, and I said, okay, I asked for a guide and you're my guide for these energies. Cool. What's your name? Archangel Michael. I'm like, you what? This is not what Archangel Michael might look like. No way. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm going to call you Michael. Okay. Is this how you're always going to appear? Oh, no, often. Now, because we've been working so closely together, he can be in any shape, any form. But also, I don't need to see the visuals because I can chat that closely. So it's like, okay, well, that's kind of weird. Never worked closely with the angels or the archangels, or not through that word, but I've always worked really closely with what I would call the luminous beings. And of course, when we think of the angels, they're the luminous beings. For me, the vibration of the beings I work most closely with, I would call star beings rather than angels. But at some point, it's just semantics, isn't it? At some point, yeah, Diana, it's all the same thing. Exactly. And it's the places where in our soul, our resonance, our knowledge, we find the way to be the bridge so that that spirit energy can move into us and we can communicate with them. Yeah, it's co-creative. That's who is the primary guide, but as well as Ava, as well as my twin, we can never take her out of the picture, remember, as well as some of my other deeper personal guides or ancestors that will help give understandings. But when I sit down on the winter solstice, always around Marazion or Penzance, to channel that, that's who will always come forward, is Michael. And when I need to really deep dive into a theme, a month, a year, or if there's the things that are being shown that I can't quite bring into human words, I can't quite translate, then that's who will come forward to really explain things. And very powerful. I go to that same place. In fact, I was sitting at that very same table yesterday looking and stayed there the night in Marazion, working with this moon energy, working with the silver energy, working with Michael. So that's the primary information for the energy forecasts. Yeah. Who knew? And what does it mean? Because that's important. What does it mean? It means that there are non-human forces that are deeply supportive of human emergence. That's what it means. And that's miraculous and utterly normal. And the more that we can rest into that, trust into that, feel guided by that. And that guidance doesn't have to have a name or a shape or a form or a being. It can be a sense, a deep felt or known sense of, I just have to do this. Or I just have to say no. Or there just has to be a change here and I'm willing to commit to it. Those really deep guidances that every one of us get. And if we actually ask the questions, if we actually get curious, if I was chatting to a beautiful star being right now and they were going to guide me on what I'm going to do with the next 4 months, what would they say? And then still and quiet and listen and not dismissing everything that's immediately there. That's the thing with the energetic core. You're always receiving luminous being information. You are a luminous being. Your stellar diamonds are exactly that. So it's not that you can ever be separate from being guided. You are part of that luminosity. Your own soul is that radiant. You are a luminous being too. We've just learned to minimize the vibration that we think we exist at. When we can realize that we exist at a whole different, amazing, everyday, cosmic and deeply lusty, fabulous human being vibration, all the same. And that's what Silver's bringing in. More and more understanding of of the illusion of the separation that we've been existing within for the last few hundred years. That's it. And not all of us. Many, many cultures have retained that sense of deep connection. I think get curious about silver. Get curious about how amazing you are. Anytime you feel, no, not me, or I can't do that, or I'm not amazingly, radiantly powerful, get curious about that. All right. Lots of love, everybody. I'll see you again soon, very soon, Thursday. Oh my goodness. Come in on Thursday. If you can, come in and chat with me and Phil. Now, Phil is someone I've done a lot of shamanic and consciousness and mystic training with. And he is, well, he lives between all of those stellar spaces. He is a fascinating, he's an archaeologist. So he digs in the earth and he works on cosmic quantum levels. So he's a brilliant guy. I have no idea what we'll talk about. Zero idea, but we'll start. And my goodness, I will be in awe. So if you get a chance, come in and bring questions to Phil, because I think it will be a really, really fun time.